Oh my god, hi, welcome to episode 4 of this thing that I've been doing. So this one is about Goodreads, and here are the standings so far. So far, Goodreads is competitor that we're all rooting for. We all want her to do well so we can be freed from the clutches of Jeff Bezos. Is in last place, unfortunately. Goodreads is basically, for some reason, if you don't know, an Excel spreadsheet. I use it as an Excel spreadsheet online, and it's also like the final boss of book sites. The knit girlies have, what's it called, Ravelry? The book girlies, we have Goodreads, unfortunately. Like I said, I use it as an Excel spreadsheet that I don't have to make myself. And also, Goodreads is where I get most of my recommendations from in general, I think. But when it comes to indie published books, definitely I get most of my recommendations from Goodreads. Of course, Goodreads has a vested interest in recommending indie published books to me because, you buy them through one of Bezos's other children. And from what I gather, I think it works kind of like a people also bought thing. Anyway, there's a reason why I get most of my recommendations, and you'll see. The Couple Next Door. The Couple Next Door is a mystery about a couple who goes next door to a dinner party, but they leave their baby behind in their house. I think it's like a duplex or something, but they leave their baby behind, checking in on her periodically. I think hourly they check in on her baby, and of course the baby gets kidnapped. Of course. I surprisingly really enjoyed this. This is written in a very, I don't know, straightforward, telling, not showing, third person present type of way. Brave writing style worked for me. I don't know. We were told the story from multiple points of view, including a detective. Love a good detective. This was just a good, compelling mystery that gets just really, really silly towards the end. Too silly with the twists and stuff and the reveals. Oh my god, it was very goofy. But I had a great time. I gave this 4 stars. Woman World. This is another one that Goodreads was like pestering me to read. Read this, you'll love this. Hey, read this. So I was like, okay, girl, I'll read it, fine. And I loved it. It was great. I gave this 4 stars. Woman World is not a graphic novel. I thought it was going to be a graphic novel, but it wasn't. This was like a collection of comics, and it's about, a woman-only world. There are only women. Something happened to all the dudes, and now there are only women on this world. The comics are like loosely connected, and some of them do have like storylines. Some of them like actually made me laugh out loud, especially this one. There's one comic of a child, so cute, by the way. Oh my god, so cute. Who finds an artifact. This child finds an artifact. She has no idea what men were like, this kid. So she finds an artifact, and excitedly she shows it to her gogo, and bam, it's Paul Blart. Paul Blart Mall Pop. Some comics were about like interpersonal drama between some of the ladies, friendships, relationships, so forth and so on. Some of them were just like fun, like that one with the kid, those were my favorite one. The kid and her grandma, those are my favorite ones. The kid is so cute. And some were like, about anxiety, about the future also, because like, how are we gonna have babies? I think they have a way of reproducing, unexplained, vague, doesn't matter. Just light and breezy and fun. I did not like the mayor. The mayor was my least favorite character, and I don't know if it's because she was naked all the time. This might be my anemic ass talking, but like, aren't you cold? Like, even in summer, like, like a light covering. Anyway, whatever. Davos Man is a non-fiction about how billionaires devour the world. Specifically, it's about the billionaires that fly under the radar, that profit off of misery and austerity and all sorts of different things listed in this book that we just kind of ignore. They're hiding in plain sight. It's not like they're secret. It's not a secret cabal of billionaires or whatever thinly veiled anti-Semitic conspiracy is going around these days. These are billionaires that are like out in the open, known. They fly under the radar because the general public is just not aware of them. We like to blame other things for things going wrong in our world. By then, he had come to blame the media for the destruction of middle class life. He blamed the Democrats, immigrants, social media, everyone but Davos Man
whose plundering was so comprehensive as to be effectively invisible.
First of all, I love the way that journalists write. They write like it's a combination of like dryness with moments of, flowery writing every now and then, and biting, irreverent commentary. I love it. I love a journalist who is a little bit of a bitch also. I'm not saying Peter Goodman is a bitch. I'm just saying that's what I love. This is a great book. I love it. It's both cathartic and depressing. This is about how specific billionaires and billionaires as a class have consistently fucked us over, and the ways in which they continue to fuck us over. Their main motivation once they get made, once they're rich, is to avoid paying taxes. They do everything in their power to avoid paying taxes, but then when they ruin the global economy, they go crying to the taxman for a bailout. They use infrastructure but don't want to contribute to it. You probably pay more tax than billionaires.
At the core of Davos man thought in general was the assumption that the wealthiest people could be relied upon to do the right thing, sharing the fruits of their success. The occasional flinging of a few gold coins would protect their palaces from any mobs showing up at the gates.
That was the first thing. The second thing they do is that they have politicians in their pocket, and this is everywhere. Everywhere. No country is immune from this. Every politician on every side. Elections are theater. The third thing is just greed. No amount of money is ever enough. You will never find a billionaire say, you know what? That's enough money. I think I've made enough money. The fourth thing that was depressing was that average people, average everyday normal people blame convenient bogeymen or scapegoats for things that billionaires do. It's the Chinese. It's those immigrants. It's Brussels. Oh, it's the blacks. Oh, it's other African people from another African country. It's everyone but the rich. Just no smoke for the billionaires. We are so screwed. Like, it is crazy. We're screwed.
The Davos men who ran global finance were responsible for the anger that had set Brexit in motion. Publicly financed bailouts that spared bankers from the consequences of their disastrous speculation, followed by budget austerity for all. I think the chapter that really illustrated that depressingly was the France chapter. That one was like, wow, we are screwed. It's so over. From a reading perspective, I will say that I did get a bit tired of this book. There was a point where I was skimming, which is why I gave this 4 stars, because it's written, the style is repetitive, right? We're introduced to a Davos man, and then we're introduced to and get an explanation of his particular brand of awfulness and what he's doing, and then we get the fallout of whatever his greed drove him to do, and the reactions to that fallout. The reactions to the fallout are, oh, it's the Chinese, or the scapegoating. That was kind of it. That was the structure of the book over and over again, and that did get tiring. Great book though. Just a good book. There are some hopeful stories at the end, kind of. But this book is here to make you angry at the right people. That's what the point of this book is, and not blaming whatever stupid thing you're blaming. Just Out of Jupiter's Reach by Nnedi Okorafor is a short story about people who go to space. Something I don't know what this book is about. I don't know. I read this and I was like, what were we doing here? Anyway, Nnedi Okorafor was one of my favorite authors. It's her and it's KSR. But this was disappointing. But it's also a short story. So yeah, I don't know. The ideas were great in this. I'll give this 5 out of 5 for inventive, creative ideas. The story, I'm giving this 2 out of 5 because it's let's go to space. Then they go to space and they're like, cool, we're in space. And then they go back home. The characters, I give 1 out of 5. Disliked the main character. I think her name was very silly, and the backstory for her name even sillier. And also, I hated the love interest. The love interest does something unforgivable when they're in space. This all averages out to around 3 stars, and that's how I feel about this short story. I just did not get the point of this. I was like, what is this? What are we doing? It's not that great of a story, so you must be trying to tell me something, but I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I don't get it. It was alright. Look, again, there's a reason why I get most of my recommendations from Goodreads, unfortunately. Obviously, Goodreads is in first place now. For an overall star rating, I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I don't know why I film here when all I want to do is just look outside. I'm turning into one of those old people who sit outside by the porch and just watch people go by. Anyway, Goodreads is in the lead. Don't even wave at us, Goodreads. No one is clapping for you. God. Anyway, whatever, we'll see. Next week, definitely BookTube. Maybe another one on top of that, but we'll see. Someone's walking past in my eyes and I'm looking. Nobody clap for her.
God.